Welcome, dear friends, to the Taviren, a Wheel of Time podcast hosted by three gentlemen for whom the very wheel itself bends around. Without further ado, here are your hosts, Bill, Rob, and Rich.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Taviren podcast, a podcast where three men have been spat out by the Wheel of Time, but most of the time only two of us show up. Hey!
Hey, when one's not sick or says I have to work for a living.
Yeah, I know. I mean, did you hear the R. Peggy show that I did the day after you guys recorded?
Is that the Grandia collection episode?
Yes.
Yeah, you sounded rather hoarse.
Yes, I was rather hoarse, and Rich took great delight in taking the piss out of me every time my voice cracked. Because
Rich. Well, thank God Rich will never get sick in his entire life.
Yes,
Because
indeed.
that's a bitch.
But yes, I had a very sore throat, and if you listen to the Grandia collection episode of R. Peggy, you'll hear my voice the day after you guys recorded. The day before, I could just barely speak. My voice was slightly disturbed. I do think people would enjoy hearing that, despite the fact I really wanted to talk about Moraine growing really tall.
Well, that was one of the things I was thinking, because you early on mentioned magics that I said I used once and then never ever use again. I was thinking this might have been one of those.
Yes,
instances.
that was one of those moments where it's just like I think there's some bits later on where they say like they appear to be taller and more grand, and they mention things like that. But there's never an example again in the books of Moraine or anyone else growing like 20 feet tall and stepping over a wall.
Well, Rich and I thought kind of expanded and thought maybe it was an illusion. And as everybody's focused on this enlarged Moraine, she kind of put her head behind the cow and ducked out the back door with everybody else.
I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure.
It's one theory.
I think she genuinely grew 20 feet tall and stepped over the wall.
So why can't everybody do this reverse Ant-Man move?
I know. Well, maybe it doesn't actually offer much other than to scare the crap out of people.
Well,
but I mean, I know also
could have been well used in the last battle. I can tell you that much.
Possibly, but again, like I say, if you're 20 feet tall but you're as weak as a mouse.
Well, Rich did say, and I didn't even bother to look back, but there was a passage in that scene where I guess one of the White Cloaks swung at her and hit her and broke his sword.
Yes, but I assume that was Lan.
I said that must have been some other secondary spell cast in the background.
Yeah, no, if anyone's breaking a sword without anyone having any clue it's being done, it's Lan.
Yeah, good point.
But yeah, I don't know. She was all disheveled on the other side, which could make for her escaping around. But I mean, I don't know. I'm just, again, even if it was illusionary magic, I'm not aware of any other illusionary magic that's kind of used in that.
The dishevelement could be from expending so much energy on such a big spell.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun.
I'm just not sure. I like to think that she grew 20 feet tall and stepped over the wall. I think that's a really cool thing to do.
Just like soccer kick, she could have corner kick one of those White Cloaks back to the Stag and Lion.
I know, but then I know Aes Sedai are supposed to be reserved with their magic. They're not supposed to like flaunt it, aren't they? Because it creates unrest, especially in places like Burlon. The fact that an Aes Sedai was inside, grew 20 feet tall, and has stepped over the wall is going to make them even like Aes Sedai even less than they already did.
True.
But yes, anyway, we're not here to talk about Moraine's powers from last week. We're here to talk about Moraine's powers from this week.
Yes, she did with some more magic.
I am so
we're
excited.
On the road. We're on the road again. On the Caemlyn Road again.
Here we go on the road again.
Yes.
Here
I was singing that song last week.
Turn the page.
Oh, not that song.
Oh,
I was doing "On the Road Again" by Willie Nelson, but
no, I'm doing "Turn the Page" by Metallica. Well, it's not actually by Metallica. It's covered by Metallica, but
yeah, covered by Metallica. Yes.
Yes.
Bob Seger, original, but no, both.
No one cares about that. Once Metallica's done a version, it's the best version of it. Fact.
Oh my.
Fact, everyone. You heard it here first. You heard it on the Taviren podcast. If Metallica cover it, it's better.
Yes.
Anyway,
we've been warned about you and your tangents, although a Metallica tangent isn't a bad thing.
Well, I did note I did make a note from last week's show that you guys went on a tangent about the fact that I go on tangents.
You have to fill the time somewhere, huh?
We had tangentception last week. You had 2 chapters to cover. There was no need.
Welcome to the Wheel of Tangents,
Yes,
a tangent podcast where we tangent.
I did also make a note of a tangent that you guys went on separately in the middle, but I can't remember what it was. My notes are long gone. A whole week's passed since then.
We went on a little bit of a Harry. I went on a little bit of a Harry Potter tangent when we were talking about the magic set were only used once.
Mm. Yes, and you went on the tangent about the time magic that Hermione has, and then it's just like it's used in the 3rd book and then never seen again. Despite the fact that seems like it'd be the most useful thing on the
especially when everybody's dying around you.
I'm pretty sure in the books it's very clear that she's made to give it back to Dumbledore and he locks it up.
Even still,
I can't remember. It's been so long since I read the Harry Potter books. Wait until we finish the Wheel of Time. We'll do a Harry Potter podcast.
I've read the books. That wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Although,
well,
when we get to
God, the
Cosmere podcast.
First 3 books would be so laborious.
Anyway, I know.
Anyway, yeah. Podcast. Cosmere podcast coming sooner.
As soon as we get done this little small quest of 14
when I'm in my 50s and we finish the Wheel of Time.
And you'll be a third of the way through your RPG list.
If we get that far. I'm excited to finish Saga Frontier though. 100+ hour RPG off my list. Be very pleased. Wow. Oh, it's a beast. It's a beast.
So, bringing us back on point.
I'm both upset and happy that the 8th scenario was cut from the game.
Oh boy.
I'm enjoying it, but also I don't want another 20+ hours onto it. Anyway, yes, like I say, back on point.
Back on point. We actually do have a new review.
Woo! Where's it from?
On the US side.
No, I was having from Canada.
Oh no.
I love Canada.
I checked. I checked Canada, Great Britain, Australia. We got. I think we have an anonymous a 5-star review there. But this is from the Americas. It is a 5-star review, and it is from Kelthazar. And it is Kelthazar. And it's called Down to Earth and Fun to Follow. Overall, I prefer this Wheel of Time podcast the most so far. It's down to earth, and you can tell it's just 3 friends going through the chapter by chapter. I like that there's something regular, not Wheel of Time related banter. I like that each has a different level of experience on Wheel of Time, and I like that they don't spoil anything if they haven't read it yet. Well, we try, we try. I slip from time to time. I'm on book 6 of the Wheel of Time, and when I heard Amazon was making a TV show, I really wanted to find a podcast that was a read through. I also really like that the chemistry between the 3 feels natural and doesn't feel like they're trying to please all types of audiences. When you try to please everyone, you please no one.
We have an audience.
I know. Oh, and also Rob. I don't know if readings with Rob are supposed to be comedic or not, but they're hilarious. Your attempt at accents and voice acting, Moraine, is really bad, but it makes it so funny. Keep on.
Keep on keeping on, man.
Was that?
Go on, carry on. Keep on keeping on, man.
Keep on keeping on. Thanks, Kelthazar. So the funny thing with the voices, about 90% of the voices, including every female voice I've done or will be doing, is just me kind of goofing off. The beautiful, ironic thing is the one voice that I tried to do serious is Lan Mandragordon, a.k.a. Jamaican Lan, a.k.a. J Lan, a.k.a. Lanny from the Border.
Lanny from the Border. Yeah, you got to listen to the readings with Rob at 1.25 speed. And most of them, he's actually sounding quite Scottish now. I'll give you that. He's kind of sounding Scottish.
To change anything.
No. It was just that one. I think there was just a couple of words in there which made him
Chapter 8.
Chapter 8 just made him really sound Jamaican. It was so good. I was just busting up. It was one of the funniest things I've listened to in ages.
It was just that was the one voice. I'm like, all right, people want a good lane. I'll try my best to give them a good lane. And you're like, oh, Jamaican lane. I'm like, what?
Oh, it's so good. Yeah, Jamaican Lan. Lanny from the Border.
The legend was born.
But yeah, I have to say most of the female voices are pretty awful.
Oh, wait till Rand starts meeting more of his significant others.
Well, there's lots of women in Rand's.
You may find some of the female voices.
There's a whole tower full of magic users who are after Rand.
Yeah, well, we get to like the 3rd string, whatever that you follow around for a chapter. We have to figure out what this person was doing in the last chapter. They maybe have some voices may be reoccurring. Let's just put it that way. On the Wheel of Time news front, last week
there should be something big today.
Yep, something big today. So ironically, we are recording early in the morning because some people can only record at lunchtime while they're in London.
Hey man, it's the rules.
The big Wheel of Time Wednesday news drop has not happened as of yet. So next week, when everybody's taken it in, commented, advised on it, and moved on, we will premiere it next week.
Yes, I love being late to stuff like that.
I know you know about this, but here's another 20 minutes to talk about it.
So on the Wheel of Time on Prime account?
What on Prime? Wonton Prime.
And I'm pretty sure they tweeted out like last Tuesday saying, "Hey, Wheel of Time Wednesday is gonna be really big," and then last Wednesday everyone was like, "Well, what's happening?" They were like, "We meant next Wednesday." Sorry, we put this out a day early. It's like, come on, guys. Get your shit
That's
together.
kind of a video game news move. News coming next week. Please be excited.
Yes. News is coming. Be excited. 4 months later.
The news is that there will be news.
We're still working on the Grandia collection, honestly. Anyway,
so
that's a subject for another show.
So, when things drop, obviously go to hashtag Twitter time, Wheel of Time on Prime. I'm sure Narg at the Daily Trolloc.
It's all about the Daily Trolloc. That's where I go for my news.
And Nablus too. I'm sure Nablus will drop a video about it as well.
Oh yes. Oh, we need to do our YouTube stuff, Rob.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I need to touch base with Tyler. I know he's been moving, but I sent him a bunch of readings with Rob separate to put up there. We need to get our episodes up there, but.
Oh yeah. Once he's updated the episodes, and then me and you need to do a special recording.
Yes, that's right. I know you sent a tweet out, didn't you?
Yeah, we did a little tweet on. We farmed for some information on what's the community's like general favourite moments from the Wheel of Time. And so hopefully that's gonna. This is one of those things where it's probably we're picking the biggest subject first, and we should probably choose a smaller subject.
Yeah.
But
lead.
I like the idea of doing the biggest subject first, doing that as our big first YouTube video, then doing some smaller ones, and then we'll come back to it and be like, all right, now that we know what we're doing. But yeah, we want to do some more YouTube content.
What do you think Rand's favorite fruit to eat is?
Definitely a pineapple.
I'm more of a nectarine kind of guy, but okay. I can see him just, taking.
That's racist against gingers.
Come on now. I was just thinking I could see Rand using the little bale fire to slice the pineapple.
Nice but pineapple. If it touches the pineapple, wouldn't the whole thing disappear? Anyway, I'm not going to get into the
bale fires or raisins to turn into a grape.
I'm not.
These are the important questions.
No, because it never existed, so it was never a grape to begin with.
It was never a grape to begin with.
Let's not get into the semantics of Balefire. People always say that. Well, spoilers, spoilers, people. We're talking about Balefire.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
I need to find a bell founder. What's next?
Yes, go find that bell founder. Anyway, so we were on the Caemlyn Road.
We are. So
we made our quick escape with the illusion or not illusion magic, and we're making our way.
The illusion of Moraine. We are, and we're back on the road again. On the road again. Here I go.
My first note here says excitement of the adventure is starting to wear off. Egwene starts to pop off. She regrets not having proper meal or quality tea for days.
Yes. So all the guys who are on chapter 18, the Caemlyn Road.
Yep.
So yeah, they're all on the Caemlyn Road, traveling towards Caemlyn, obviously, and the next destination is good old Whitebridge. And I think they make a few comments on the location, saying that they're on a big winding road that goes around the Langdon Hills. Is it?
Okay, I know it was just, yeah. I
forgot the names it was, but basically it curves around a huge set of hills, so it doesn't go straight. And yeah,
meandering road.
Yeah, meandering. Yes, and Egwene starts the whole. She doesn't mean to complain, but she's like, God, I never thought I'd go off to taste of cheese. And it's just like, Egwene, if I was there, I'd give you a slap. All right. There is never a time when you can go off eating cheese. Cheese is amazing.
That's all you've had for however many days you're on the road.
Yeah, well, I think it was 3 days. They mentioned, so it's just like, yeah, been on the road for 3 days. She's just like, I'm so sick of eating cheese.
Yeah,
I think Lan criticizes her. She's like, I wasn't trying to be petty.
I haven't had quality tea for days.
Yeah, so Egwene still needs to do a bit of growing up.
Yeah, they're all still young. They're still. I mean, they try to put on a brave front, but they're still kids from Evansfield.
Exactly. So yeah, they're not quite hardened to the road yet. So she doesn't mean to complain, but she's still being a whiny little bitch.
Then after a little bit more dialogue, there the horns start again.
Oh, hang on, no, because there's a very important little thing here.
Oh, what I miss?
So Nynaeve, there's a little thing in there about how obviously she spent the first day just ignoring Moraine, not wanting to speak to her, and then she spent the last 2 days trying to speak to Moraine about the healing properties of herbs.
I'm smart.
Obviously, because of Jamaican land, she's getting into the herb. And
we don't condone the use of anything illicit.
No, we don't. We do not endorse forkweed in any way. Is it forkweed or forkroot? I think it's forkroot. But yeah, she's trying.
Kind of funky.
She's trying to speak to Moraine about the properties of herbs, and Moraine's just ignoring Nynaeve now. So it's gone from one end to the other with those two. They just
another burn on Nynaeve's side.
Nah, they're just both rubbing up each other the wrong way constantly.
Yep.
But yeah, so just a little bit of a character disposition there, which is important to books 7, I think. I love Robert Jordan because that whole thing comes back later on, and it's just like one
procedural things all over the place. That's the brilliance of the whole series.
Yes, it is indeed, and then Lan mentions the fact that he thinks. Oh yeah, he tells Egwene she can't have tea because of he thinks the Trollocs and Kevins are following him. I'm down with the Kevins, by the way.
Yeah, so is Rich. Rich like that too. So
yes. So all the Murdrell are called Kevin.
Are Kevin.
So yeah. So
especially speaking parts.
So yeah, Lan thinks they're being followed, and he says, "Yeah, they're definitely following us, but we don't want to give away our location by having a fire."
Pots and fires, yeah.
Indeed. And then it's like literally on cue, a big horn sounds in the distance, and I think there's a little Targaryen moment here, or possibly a little bit of insane die coming in here. But Rand, let's not forget, the whole book's set from his point of view at the moment. He hears the horns and he says, "Oh, about 10 miles away." And it's just like, dude, you're a sheep herder. How the fuck do you know how far away stuff is when you hear a horn? It's just like, that's some crazy stuff, man. It's just like, that's either coming from like some sort of weird
teachings from Tam.
Yeah, well, but I can't imagine Tam standing 10 miles away and going, "Can you hear the horn? This is 10 miles."
That's the village. That's the village up ahead. We're about 10 miles out.
Yeah, but seeing a village and hearing something and knowing where it is, like, I don't think you can hear a village from 10 miles out. Like a horn is like, I don't know, man. I think this is like either Targaryen influencing how Rand perceives things, or something else from the back of his mind.
You could have something there.
Yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, so I'll mark that down as a little Targaryen moment for now.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no reason why Rand should know that that horn is 10 miles away.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Although, knowing what we know, I'm surprised Matt didn't make that connection as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It seems like something Matt would do. That seems like the sort of thing Matt would know. He's good with his bow.
I think maybe Matt in a few chapters up would know.
Yeah.
Not spoiling anything, but or a few books forward, Matt.
But yeah, we're beginning to spoil stuff. So let's move on. So yes, the horns.
One thing I did notice real quick is that they discern that the fists are coming from different sides, and they seem to be filtering the party to a specific spot, potentially an ambush site.
Yes. Yeah, because there's I think they're 10 miles behind, and they have a little conversation, don't they? And I think Tom says, "What's to stop them from having a party up ahead of the road to come and cut us off?" And I think Lan says, "Well, nothing really." And then I think they hear a horn from the other direction. I was like, "Well, there you go."
So now one front, one behind.
Yes. So they're being taken from all angles at the moment, and so their choices is to head north or south.
Lan
And
does have a third option. He kind of teases, which
Yes.
is immediately shot down by Moraine.
yeah, he says there's another place we could go, and she's like, "No, you shut up,
She's like, no.
shut your mouth, boy."
We are
Boy.
not doing that.
Yeah, we're not doing that. So
Or
the choices are to head north to the Arundel, which has trading vessels. So they could possibly, if they get very lucky, find a ship going downriver and jump on it. But that all depends on whether the ice further up the river has actually defrosted to let them come down from, I think, Saldea, if I remember correctly. Or it might have been from further east. I think it might have been further east. So that's one option, but they'd have to go through the woods and over the hills that are very difficult to navigate. Or they could go south to the Tarandale, which they have no hope of crossing. And there's no vessels coming down it because of the fact that it basically starts in the mountain mist. so there is nothing upriver for stuff to come down and trade stuff with. So the Tarandale is a pretty crap option.
Yeah.
And so eventually they're just kind of forced north.
Okay. Yeah, so they're headed north towards the Arundel. Hopefully, luck will be with them.
Yes, but they're going through the woods, going up and down over hills.
Over hill, yep. They top a hill and they see Fist of Trollocs, not Trollops, but a Fist of Trollocs.
Nope, Fist of
with
Trollocs.
Kevin at the lead.
Yes, they run into one, so they've been ambushed. With the
And
only hope is to smash their way through the fist.
Yep. Well, Land knows a quick way to get through the fist, but he doesn't hesitate. He's like, "All right, boys, it's go time."
Yes, get your bows out, get your axes out, get your heron marked blade out, Rand. We're smashing through the fist.
Yep. There's 100 of them with the Kevin, and I got you 3.
And so
let's do it.
And so we're here we're treated to our first real battle scene.
Yes.
And it's pretty damn cool, but it's also pretty damn annoying that we seem to miss like 2 of the best moments because it's set only from Rand's point of view.
True.
Later on, Robert and Brandon get very good at, during the battles in these books, of flickering between different perspectives to give you the overall feel of the battle from all sorts of angles. But this is just Rand on his horse. They charge down the hill. Lan shouts out at the top of his voice, for the 7 towers, or something along those lines. Oh, I can't believe I didn't write down what Lan wrote.
Oh, yeah, that's for the 7 towers.
Oh, for the 7 towers. Okay, so Rand and Perrin awkwardly think, for Meleferen.
Yep.
and it does. Even when you read it, it feels really cringy. Like, oh, come on, boys.
We're going to be hearing it when we get to readings with Rob. That's where I went with that.
But you're a bit like, oh, come on, boys, you could have done better than that. And then Matt.
It's their first.
What does Matt say?
I said it once. I'm actually flipping through the books here. Let's see. Oh, Karai al Caldazar. Karai an Alisande al Alisande. That's what he says.
Holy crap. What the hell was that?
The only bit I got from that was Alisande. Isn't she the queen from your tellings?
She is the queen from Eldraine, yes. But that's her name in Thingy, because that's what Moraine tells him afterwards.
That's her name in Thingy?
In Thingy, yes. In the Stories from Mount Ephron. That's her name in the Mount Ephron language.
Outside of that, just all Greek to me.
Yeah. So Matt, just out of nowhere, balls out, starts just screaming an ancient Mount Ephron cry in the ancient Mount Ephron language.
Yes.
Holy shit, man.
He doesn't even realize he did it.
No. He's just like, oh. But yes, they have this big battle with these Trollocs, and basically Lan just goes straight for the Murdrill, and they start trading blows 1 for 1.
I love that everybody, good or bad, gives them their own dancing circle.
Yeah, everyone's just like, I can keep away from those 2. Keep away from Kevin and Lan.
Yes, don't mess with them. And one other note I have about the battle is the Trollocs are where.
Well, they've got hooks.
Or with snatch poles and hooks.
Yes, they haven't got weapons.
Pretty quickly we realize this is a kidnapping mission, not a full out assault.
Yeah, they don't want the boys dead. They want them alive. So they're trying to hook them off of their horses. And yeah, meanwhile, Lan and Kevin are going blow for blow. And this is just an example of how balls out good Lan is with a sword. Because no one is supposed to be able to take on a murderer like toe for toe. That's not supposed
Apparently
to be.
haven't met Lanny from the border.
No, they haven't met Lanny from the border, but that's not supposed to be possible. It's kind of like the idea with the hierarchies of the good and the evil armies is that most normal people and even the really good swordsmen are supposed to be making their way through the Trollocs, where the Aes Sedai then try and take on the other creations of the Dark One because they've got magical powers, so they can attack the Murdril and the Drakkar and all those sorts of things. But yeah, your normal man is not supposed to be able to just wield a sword and take on a Kevin.
No.
But Lan,
by the way, I'd also, since he's not here to defend himself, I also, did you happen to listen to some of the comments or comparisons he made between Kevin's and New Jersey?
Oh yes, I did.
Yeah, I actually have some good friends from New Jersey, so when he went there, my reaction was like,
Yeah, but you can't really defend people from New Jersey, can you?
Don't you start.
I'm from halfway across the planet, man, and I know that.
Don't you start. Now, when he said talk about Jersey Shore folk, that's a different. The Jersey Shore people, that's a whole. I dived in on that. Well, that's fine.
Oh yeah, I just assume everyone from Jersey is like Snooki.
Nah. Kevin was dating JWoww.
Nah, see that's I'm only saying that to play devil's advocate. I don't really believe that because we've got a version of Jersey Shore over here called The Only Way Is Essex, which is where I'm from, and Jesus Christ, I'm not like any of those people. My pronunciation of the English language is pretty good. In comparison, and my pronunciation of the English language is awful. But in comparison to the people on The Only Way Is Essex, I've got at least 5 brain cells, and one of them isn't dedicated to breathing.
He didn't. I don't even want to really rehash, but I just wanted to say we love our listeners from New Jersey.
Yep, and
we love our listeners from Essex.
Yeah, I love our listeners from Essex,
and we love some good Lan Kevin action.
Yeah, Lan on Kevin action. Don't Google that on Pornhub.
No. That's no.
Yes, so they're having the big battle. Rand is not doing very well.
He almost gets thrown, but never really did.
One Trolloc's got his leg and pulled it out of the syrup. He's holding on to Cloud or as he describes it, with a death grip. So I can imagine his knuckles are just white with the blood being taken away from them. And Cloud starts to rear up and he's holding on for life, and he's got Trollocs trying to pull him down. He can feel hook poles going over him. He stares round. Perrin doesn't look like he's doing much better. One of the Trollocs is holding his axe. And when he turns around, he can see Matt on the floor, and we don't know what's happened to Matt. So again, one of those type of things. I would have liked to have seen what happened to Matt and Perrin during this scene. I would like to have seen their experience from their point of view. But we didn't get it, and then suddenly everyone just lets go. All the Trollocs just stop trying to grab the boys.
Everybody just do they run off scared, or do they just?
No, again, we look round, and again, like I say, we've missed the big moment of the battle. Kevin's head.
Oh yeah, I know. Kevin's been beheaded.
Kevin's beheaded. He's still sitting on his horse, waving his sword around like a lunatic, but he's been beheaded. And so, as we learn in the book, the Trollocs sometimes, but not always, are like mind connected to their lead murderer. And so it's like, cut off the head off the beast and you destroy the roots, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So literally, Lan's cut off Kevin's head and all the Trollocs have fallen to the floor, screaming in pain and agony. So he's managed to take out an entire fist by himself. Good old Lanny.
Now, see, here's a comparison between Wheel of Time and Game of Thrones for those obviously.
All right, no Game of Thrones spoilers though, because I haven't watched it.
Well, not a game. Well, okay.
No, major, I can go for it. Like I said, after Sean Bean died, there's no point in watching the rest of it.
It's a similar thing with the White Walkers. Take out a theoretical sergeant, and all the privates below him just drop. Take out a lieutenant, everybody below him drops. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to pinpoint where. Now Wheel of Time is older than Game of Thrones, but it's hard to pinpoint who got that thought first of cut off the head of the snake
Well,
type of.
you've just answered your own question. Wheel of Time's older, and this is in the first book.
Yeah, that's a good point.
sorry, Game of Thrones fans. But also, this is a very common thing through Norse mythology. So I think technically the Vikings have that one.
Oh,
from about 600.
I think the Vikings came first.
Yeah, Vikings came first. Possibly the Saxons, maybe. Nah, I think the Vikings.
Yeah, but I think Tom also comments that Myrddraals or Kevins don't truly die until nighttime.
Yeah, I like that bit because Tom just shouted. Yeah, we don't know what Tom was doing during the battle. He seemed to run in with everyone else, but he just suddenly shouts out,
Very
saying,
nippy knife work.
"It's going to take like 24 hours for that bitch to die. Let's get out of here." And it's just like, Tom, how do you know this, man? Like, I know you're a Glee man. I know you know lots of stories, but you said that with such authority.
I know. Everybody's got secrets.
Everyone's got secrets. But yeah, I like that. I love Tom. But yeah, Tom, because if it would have been like Lan shouted it out, I wouldn't have thought, oh, that's unusual. But Tom says it. It's like, Tom, man, what have you done in your life? What?
Tom's seen some shit.
Tell me, Tom. Tell me about this shit. So we're treated to that little nugget, and so off they continue running, and the horns continue behind them. I think again, Rand mentions how sad the first set of horns sound when he hears them. Like, they know that they've managed to escape through this first fist.
It's very sad horn.
How do you know Warcry has horns, Rand? How do you know this stuff?
Well, how many miles away are they now, Rand?
5, apparently.
To know that.
He says they're about 5 miles away.
Hey, that's some next level sensory perception there, buddy.
Yeah, he knows they're 5 miles away, and he knows they're a bit upset. The person blowing it's upset.
Almost like he can see into the Dark One's mind.
Yeah. I don't think he can he?
My next note has cresting another hill.
Yep.
And they see the whole of the enemy host. And not one, but 3 Kevins.
3 Kevins.
Sounds like an 80s sitcom. The 3 Kevins.
Welcome to the 3 Kevins. A show about 3 Kevins.
Excuse me, sorry.
That's right. I've still got a bit of a chest from last week as well. But
you sound beautiful.
But yes, so they're trying to run away, but the Trollocs are slowly catching them up. And yes, like you say, they finally crest the hill, and as they're cresting the hill, they can see the 3 fists of Trollocs cresting the hill behind them.
Just the sight alone is just enough to set, just melancholy depression. Like, oh my god, what are we gonna do now?
Oh shit! And what do we do now? We let Moraine do her shit.
Yes. She goes crazy. I got her. She casted Earthquake and a Flame Wall.
Well, yeah. So women Aes Sedai in general aren't supposed to be very good with
Earth and Fire. Yeah.
Earth and Fire. And yeah, Moraine just she calmly gets off of a horse, reaches into a pocket, pulls out her little angry owl, which Rand takes note of, and she just stands there. She twirls her little wand around, whatever it is, her staff, and plants it into the floor. And it goes,
in this world, are you crazy, man?
I know, sorry. And it goes, like it's like a metal spoon hitting an iron pot. It goes, then it goes quiet, and then the noise starts to come back, and then from Moraine's feet ripples out the earth, slowly like a tidal wave, rippling out, and just starts absolutely throwing the Trollocs everywhere.
Now, if they do this scene for the TV show, I want that exact same sound effect, ding, that you just did. I want them to ask you to record that noise and have that TV show.
Guys, Twitter on Prime. I'm here for you guys. You want me to make the noise of what sounds like iron hitting iron? I'm here. But yeah, she causes like a gigantic ripple earthquake to roll out and knock all the Trollocs over. But the Kevins aren't affected. The Kevins just continue to walk forward slowly, raising their swords in the air as one.
Because they gotta glide. They don't. It's not like they're bound to the ground. They move in a gliding fashion, so it's almost like anything done to the earth just does not affect them.
Yeah, they're bang on it. And so Moraine casts her second spell of the day. She summons a wall of fire from out of nowhere. And like this is 3 fists of Trolloc, right? So this is there's like 300 Trollocs and 3 Murdril. So this is this is taking up quite a bit of space. So this is a huge amount of fire.
They're out in the open. Because it's not like they're enclosed in an area or in a forest. I think they're just out in the open because you can see them from the top of the hill.
Yes, exactly. So it's just this thing, man. It's just amazing. This is Moiraine being absolutely balls out, like amazing.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, she is just incredible. She gets off a horse, plants her thing in the ground, makes an earthquake, makes a wall of fire burst out on the floor, which starts like ripping through the Trollocs and keeping the Murdril at bay. Those poor Kevins. They don't like fire, man.
Poor Kevins, huh?
Poor Kevins. They don't like the fire. And and then Moiraine starts to collapse and land lightning fast, jumps off his horse, picks her up.
Well, yeah, because he probably even knew as she's casting, she's like, oh, she's going to be done after this.
Yep. And she almost passes out. And it's kind of like she does mention as Lan picks her up and they all start to leave and continue heading north to try and get away. Because this isn't like she hasn't wiped out the army, but she's
slowed them.
Yeah, she slowed them down. She's holding them there for a little bit while they try and bugger off. And they stop for a moment just so that she can get a tiny bit of rest. And she says, "Sorry about that. I'm not very good with with fire and earth." It's just like, you're not very good with fire and earth. You just did that.
You just lit it up. You just lit it up, girl.
You just destroyed the entire hill.
Is this the scene where she specifically asked Nynaeve for some?
No, that comes later. She's
comes
still
later,
very
right?
much not going with Nynaeve's herbs at the moment.
No, okay.
You know, Nynaeve's trying to push the cannabis on her. Like, come on, just one puff, you feel much better.
First one's always free. Yeah.
And Moraine's like, no, I'm all right for the moment. But no, this is where she wheels her staff over everyone's head and then sends their scent going the other direction.
Yep, that's the one last spell to make the decoy trail
to
send the enemy, send them the other way.
Something we don't really see any other Aes Sedai do later on in the game.
Well,
I'm pretty sure it's just like Robert Jordan just done all this magic. Yeah, that's for the first book. Now what am I going to do? but yeah,
that's one thing that Sanderson is always good about is keeping track of his magic.
Yes,
Sanderson was a master of that specific literary theme is magic systems and keeping it honest, keeping it grounded in some sort of reality and avoiding the Harry Potter syndrome.
Yeah, he actually employs like whole teams of people to keep an eye on that stuff as well.
Yes.
And so sometimes when he writes a book, he like submits the first quarter of the book, and then people send it back to him saying, you can't do this because this person's actually on another planet. Or you can't do this because this magic doesn't work that way. He's like, oh.
Well, it's really cool.
Yeah. So his stuff's even got so complicated that he can't remember it, and he has to employ other people to remember it.
Hey,
I love that fact though.
It works out. So they agree now with Moiraine in such a spent state, the fists being slowed but not stopped. They decide they got to find shelter stat.
Yep. So Moiraine finally caves and agrees to go with Lan's third option, which they still won't tell us what it bloody is.
I'll do in the very end, very last line of the book.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like, yeah, okay, we'll do what you want to do, Lan. I'm too tired to argue.
Where are we going? It's called Shadar Logoth.
No,
that sounds like a fun place.
Oh no, what's the actual name of it?
Aradol.
Aradol, is it?
Yes.
So yeah, they continue north, but I think they go slightly westerly, and they start to see something creeping up on the horizon. And then as they get a bit closer, they realise, and like the boys, Matt, Perrin, and Rand, all start going, "Holy crap, that's a city!" And it's about 50 times the size of Baerlon. And it's just like, what's it doing?
The big city.
Yeah, this thing's 50 times as big. And yeah, Perrin's the one who points out, says, "Look, it's covered in vines, and the vines are actually pulling the walls down. And look, all the watchtowers are like crumbling to pieces. So this is a dead city." And they're like, "What the hell is it doing?
There ain't nothing here."
Yeah, it's like, what the hell is it doing here in the woods? And then this is where Moiraine pops up and goes, have I got some news for you? This is Arundel, which used to one day be an ally to Mount Ephraim. Hey,
Save it. I save it. I think we have the makings of another Tellings of the Wheel segment here.
well, I think we do, but I think that's in the next chapter.
All right.
So
All right.
after the next chapter will be a telling.
Don't give everything away.
No. Okay. But she explains the history of this place. And yeah, she says it was once an ally to Mount Ephraim. I just love the way she pops up as if like, this is my moment to get a bit of plot deposition.
Teaching moment.
Let's let you guys know what's going on for a moment. Yes, so it was once an ally to Mount Ephraim, but it was then Arundel died and became evil, and it is now known by a different name. The name, and this is the last two letters of the last two words of the chapter. Shadow Logoth.
Shadow Logoth.
Shadow Logoth, says Kevin. Kevin no like Shadow Logoth.
Such a happy place.
Such a happy place. Yes, and that's where the chapter ends.
Yes.
Shadow
yes.
on the news of Shadow Logoth.
We're all standing at the opening of this 50 times the size of Berlon dead city.
Yeah, I think Lan takes them right up to the an entrance gateway, which they explain, don't they? They say like it's wide enough to fit 50 men abreast. So this was obviously a place with a big army at some point to let 50 people abreast through.
Yep.
Or a big trading point. But yeah, for some reason now it's just dumped in the middle of the woods doing nothing.
It's always a shame because I can never find it. I mean, I when I look at the maps that Jordan gives you, I don't believe it's located on here. So I always I can never find it.
Oh, I thought it was.
Unless my eyes are deceiving me.
Well,
or you know what?
It is there.
Berlin, Two Rivers.
So yeah, you go from Berlin and you want to head east towards Whitebridge, and it should be somewhere in between the two of them.
North, but it's somewhere there, but I don't see it marked on the original map. I must have a bad version, or maybe it's right on the seam because it goes right across the seam. The map spans 2 pages.
Ah, okay, yeah, it should be really close to. So just for people listening, it should be fairly close to. What do you call it? The Tarandale. So yeah, it should be close to the Tarandale, somewhere between Berlon and Whitebridge. That's what you're.
I'm sure I'll be corrected.
Is it?
I like to open my mouth and say things that I'm not sure about.
I'm just trying to get a picture of the map up.
Let's see. I'm looking at the map that came with the first book.
Yeah, I haven't got the first book. I seem to have lost it somewhere along the line. So I've got the second book. That helps. There's a map in the second book. Yeah, I'm sure it's not there.
Oh boy.
But so, yeah, Emmonsfield, Berlin. It doesn't look to be on this map, but yeah, it's somewhere in those hills.
They didn't want to desecrate the map by pinpointing where Shadow Logoth is.
Yeah, well, it's one of the towns where a few major things happen. Ish. Like, they go there to escape this army. There's chasing them up and down the river from from Berlin to Whitebridge.
Yeah, it's a dead town. There's nothing there. Or is there?
There's nothing here. Nothing for you to find. Anyway. Oh, yes.
So this will take us right into readings with Rob. For this chapter, as I teased earlier, I took the war cries in the beginning of the battle with the fist and Kevin.
Man Ephraim.
Man Ephraim.
I'd be like, Emmonsfield, bitch.
I know. Represent.
Emmonsfield.
Give them an area code just so they can say it for the 212, bitch.
Two Rivers posse.
Emmonsfield forever.
North Road, bitches. Yes, so here we go with readings with Rob.
And now, the Taviren present to you Readings with Rob.
Below them, just starting up the slope, marched Trollocs, carrying poles tipped with great loops of rope or long hooks. Many Trollocs. The line stretched far to either side, the ends out of sight. But at its center, directly in front of Lan, a fade road. The Murdraws seemed to hesitate as the humans appeared atop the hill. But in the next instant it produced a sword with the black blade Rand remembered so queasily. and waved it over its head. The line of Trollocs scrambled forward. Even before the Myrddraal moved, Lan's sword was in his hand. "Stay with me," he cried, and Mandar plunged down the slope towards the Trollocs. "For the Seven Towers!" he shouted. Rand gulped and booted the Grey forward, and the whole group of them streamed after the water. He was surprised to find Tam's sword in his fist. Caught up by Lan's cry, he found his own. "Matherin! Matherin!" Perrin took it up. "Mine Atherin! Mine Atherin!" But Matt shouted, "Cry al Caldazar! Cry an Elisande! Al Elisande!" The Fate's head turned from the Trollocs to the riders charging towards him. The black sword froze over its head, and the opening of its cowl swiveled, searching among the oncoming horsemen. Then Lan was on the Myrddraal, as the human folk fell on the Trolloc line. Water's blade met black steel from the forges at Thakendar with clang like a great bell, the toll echoing in the hollows, a flash of blue light filling the air like sheet lightning. Beast-muzzled almost men swarmed around each of the humans, catch poles and hooks flailing. Only Lan and the Myrddraals did they avoid. Those two fought in a clear circle, black horses matching step for step, swords matching stroke for stroke. The air flashed and pealed. Cloud rolled his eyes and screamed, rearing and lashing out with his hooves at the snarling, sharp-toothed faces surrounding him. Heavy bodies crowded shoulder to shoulder around him. Digging his heels in ruthlessly, Rand forced the Grey on regardless. Swinging his sword with little of the skill Lan had tried to impart, hacking as if hewing wood. Egwene! Desperately he searched for her as he kicked the Grey onward, slashing a path through the hairy bodies as though chopping undergrowth. Moiraine's white mare dashed and cut at the slightest touch of the Aes Sedai's hands on the reins. Her face was as hard as Lan's as her staff lashed out. Flame enveloped Trollocs, then burst with a near roar that left misshapen forms unmoving on the ground. Nynaeve and Egwene rode close to the Aes Sedai with frantic urgency, teeth bared almost as fiercely as the Trollocs, belt knives in hand. Those short blades would be no use at all if a Trolloc came close. Rand tried to turn Cloud towards them, but the Grey had the bit in his teeth. Screaming and kicking, Cloud struggled forward, however hard Rand tugged at the reins. Around the three women, a space opened as Trollocs tried to flee from Moiraine's staff. But as they attempted to avoid her, she sought them out. Fires roared, and the Trollocs howled in rage and fury. Above roar and howl crashed the tolling of the water's sword against the Myrddraals. The air flared blue around them, then flared again. Again!
That was Readings with Rob. If there's a passage in an upcoming chapter you wish to have read on the podcast, simply tweet us at TavirenPod with your request.
And that was Readings with Rob. I hope you enjoyed the war cries.
And for Kel'Thuzar, that was a totally serious rendition. No humor in it at all.
Definitely.
So, as we also teased, we're probably another chapter or two away from our next Tellings of the Wheel segment. Are you gathering your notes there, Billiam?
Pressure. I've got the stuff all ready to go. I've just got to record it. So,
Awesome.
Like I said, hopefully we'll do next week's episode, and then the week after that, I should do a Tellings of the Wheel.
Okay.
So again, no one's actually said, "Oh, I hate this," so I'm still going to keep doing it.
I loved it.
So yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know on Twitter if you like it. Let us know on our Discord. There'll be links below for our Discord. And yeah, or if you rate and review us on whatever podcatching apps you use, just let us know. It still leaves a taste in my mouth saying that.
We're everywhere. Like I said, even our producer Tyler, he's got a Instagram, he's got Facebook, I believe.
Again, all the YouTube stuff.
Yep, and he's in charge. Yeah, he's in charge of the YouTube stuff, and we have even more things planned.
Indeed. So yes, join along with us if you are reading along with us, guys. The next episode will be just chapter 19, Shadows Waiting, and I don't think we haven't got another double up until chapter 21. So we're all right for a little bit. Okay.
The guy here says Shadows Waiting. Visit Visit scenic Shadar Logoth, a lovely place to raise a family. I can see like an old 50s like painting of like a family like at the new house and like a baby like white picket fence.
Like a travel agent thing.
Yes. Brought to you by
to
Shadar Logoth Travel Agency.
Your one-stop shop. You'll never want to go to Vegas again. Probably because you'll be dead.
Anybody offers you treasure? Just say no.
So yes, so chapter 19, Shadows Waiting. It's going to be a good one. Oh yes, very excited.
Yep, some good banter, some Matt doing Matt things, which leads to
Matt doing Matt things, Rand doing Rand things, which is like somewhere between Matt and Perrin.
Yeah. Okay, sure. Well,
I'm beginning to realize that.
An idea. Let's do that.
I'm beginning to realize that on this reread that like Matt's the super silly one, Perrin's the super serious one, and Rand just seems to switch between the two. in these early books, he's just like sometimes he's just like no, come on, we've got to be serious. We're being chased. And then other times it's just like yeah, I'm going to stand here and laugh at some white blokes.
Or it's like, or in the last chapter that I did with Rich, where he goes down and gets a glass of milk. And face to face. I thought that was the funniest thing. Of all the things that Jordan could have Rand do, he has him go get a glass of milk. I was like, oh my god, that is. I could just picture him with the milk mustache, being face to face with Kevin. That scene is priceless in my mind.
Be like, oh
no! Put my milk down first. Hold on.
Damn. Yes. Anyway, well, I'm done. My voice.
You are. That's a first.
Yeah, my voice has survived. I can feel it getting a little bit sore. I'm still not quite over my illness.
So whatever the big Wheel of Time news is later on today, we will be bringing that to you first thing next week.
Yeah, you heard it here first, people.
You heard it here, 37.
There is going to be some news today, and then they're going to tweet. Oh no, we meant next week.
In that case, we'll give it to you in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah. Anyway, whatever happens, don't let the trollops give it to you.
Let the wheel weave as the wheel wills.
Yes, and watch out for those fisted trollops.
Keep both eyes on Kevin. Don't trust that guy.
You'll come away with something you don't want.
We could say Kevin's from Utah instead of New Jersey. Let's say he's from Utah.
I don't know much about Utah.
Well, I know some people. We know some people from Utah. We can say Kevin's are from Utah.
Yeah. Yes, I'm going to edit this stuff out.
Yeah, let's stop there.
Okay, I'm off to get some tea from. I'm off to get some herbs from Nynaeve.
I'm gonna go find Rand and learn how to discern 5 miles away noise from 10 miles away noise.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for that, Rand.
See you guys later.
See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. If you want to continue the conversation, tap into the One Power and contact us on Twitter at TavirenPod. You can also contact Bill at Matunica and Rich at HaleBlue1569. You can also reach Rob at his website, digging, D-I-G-G-I-N, diggingdeepsports.com. And, as always, we will see you at the Wine Spring Inn.
Here's to another great podcast, gentlemen. Cheers! Ah, damn it, Bill! Not again! Brad, can you get another round of pints for me and the boys? Yes, again. No, Bill this time. Thank you, Brad. Much appreciated. Now, where were we, men? Actually, I believe it's Rich's turn at the Stones table. What's that you say? No, I don't think old Sen will have that ready.
Hello friends, this is Troidal Power, host of the Troidal Power Presents the Power Playthroughs podcast with Troidal Power, a podcast where I, your host, Troidal Power, play through games in a powerful way. And I'm inviting you to listen to Troidal Power Presents the Power Playthroughs podcast with Troidal Power, a podcast where I, your host, Troidal Power, play through games in a powerful way. You can find it and a lot of other weird shows at probablywork.com.
My voices, so.
Excellent. I wonder if I get Damian Marley to play Jamaican Len.
This has been a presentation
of the We Can Make This Work
Probably Network.
Follow us on Twitter
At probablywork
For more of our questionable content.
Also, we have a website called probablywork.com.